Hello, my name is Michael Harper. I've been a musician playing in church for probably over 3 decades now, and always get questions about lessons or giving lessons. I play by ear. A lot of people are interested in playing by ear, or people that know how to read music are just interested in getting a different approach at playing music. And I work a full-time job and have never been able to um, make time for giving lessons. So I thought to try to record these videos. Hopefully they're helpful. I'll try to gear it toward. This video will be geared toward, say, maybe like a moderate, maybe a beginner to a moderate level musician. Um, and we'll talk about in this video just a basic 4 through 7 chord transition. And I'll explain what that means in a second here. Um, so basically, when I say 4 through 7, a lot of times you hear people talk about a number system. So say in the key of C, starting here, the first root note would be 1. The second note would be 2. Third would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on up to 8. So when I say 4, say in the key of C, I'm referencing starting on the fourth chord of that scale. So it would be here, which is F major. So the transition is this. I'm going to play it in basic form, and then we'll get into some chord substitutions, but we won't change the type of chord. We'll just do substitutions or a different way of hitting the same type of chord. So starting here on F, this is the way it would sound. So that's 4 through 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Um, so the first note, the basic, root of it is an F major chord. Sometimes I would like to add the second in there, so the 1, 2 sounds a little bit fuller, and then in the bass I'm hitting F, and I may add that fifth in there. Fifth meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just an F chord, but I'm hitting it with a couple extra notes, the 5 and then the 2. Second chord in the 4 through 7, same thing. This is G major with the G on the bottom, and the fifth, which is a D in there. And the next chord really is it's really an F major chord over A. So when you say over, F major chord over or higher than A. So you hear a lot of people say F over A. That's what they mean. F over A. And again, I'm hitting the 2 in that as well, the second note in that as well. And then the last chord, G major over B. Okay, so some different ways you can hit that is you can hit it the way I just hit it with all 3 notes. Sometimes you can drop the third, so it sounds like this. So I'm just hitting the second, and I'm not hitting that third. So it has a little bit of a different sound. It's another way. Another way of hitting the same type of chord, you can add the top note on there so it sounds a little fuller. Or you can do what's called inversions. We'll get into inversions next. So if I just add the top note, it sounds like this. So a little bit of a color on top of it. Inversions are another thing you can do is when we're talking about substitutions. Inversions are just the same type of chord hit in a different area of the keyboard. So an F major, first inversion, or F major would be here. The first inversion would be taking this F on the bottom and adding it on the top. So that's the second inversion. And then the third inversion would be taking this bottom A and add it on the top. So same chord, just hit on, call that different inversions. So you can switch that up as well as a chord substitution here. Little MIDI misfire there. Just a different inversion. And you can switch it up. So it's a way of sounding different, playing the same type of chord, but just mixing in inversions. First inversion, second inversion, based off of the walk up. Another thing we talk about, we'll add maybe just one chord in there. So we've talked about a couple ways of hitting the 4, 5, 6, 7. We've talked about adding the top note, 5, 6, 7, and we've talked about inversions, 1. Also, it's important to use your sustain pedal. Obviously, this sounds very choppy if you don't use the sustain pedal when you're switching, hitting different inversions. We've also talked about dropping the third out of there, so hitting it without the third, but hitting it with just the 1 and the 2. And you can use inversions with that as well. So, and then add the F on the top. You can hit an inversion on there. So this is the same. This is a 1, 2, and I'm hitting the 2 again on the left hand. So it's really just switching up, playing the same types of chords different ways, just adds color. One chord we'll add is you can walk into it with a. So that's really that's really kind of like an A minor 7, which would be hit that way. But we're just hitting. I just took a lot of notes out of here, and I'm just hitting 3 of them: B, C, and G, with the E in the bass. Is a good way to walk into it. So that sounds like this. So that's a little different way. So just one different chord there. Another thing we can add in is we'll add another walk-in chord where I just showed you this A minor 7 here. Another way you could hit that that would still kind of tonally go with this would be to go to a B flat major 7th over C. And there might be other ways of referring to this chord, but that's one of the ways I know it as. So if we were to use that to walk into it, it would sound like this. So different way of walking into it. So it's just a good, this 4, 5, 6, 7 transition. Something you probably heard, a lot of times in church services, if there's a more slow tempo song that may be geared toward like worship, after the song is over, the music kind of continues. That's kind of one loop that you can kind of go to. That's easily recognizable, and it kind of allows people to worship and just focus in on God after a song in church. That's the way I've used it anyway. So again, that's just a simple, walk up. Definitely, enter things into the comments if you have things to add to it. Maybe you can add on and expand. Again, this is geared toward more beginning to moderate musicians, or folks looking to just learn different chord progressions. It's not really geared toward an advanced sort of a session, but definitely drop comments, or if you have ideas or things that you want to hear me talk about or play through, I'd be glad to do that. That's really the only reason I'm recording these videos, is for me. I just want to be able to help others like someone helped me when I was trying to learn to play. So appreciate you for joining. Definitely, we'll see where we go from here, and let me know any other videos you might like to see. Thanks. Be blessed.